Man, I can really tell that Desmond would do anything to get back to Penelope.
You idiot!
And I do mean just about anything. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for Lost. This one's going to be doing my first review of 2 for the double Season 2 finale of Lost Season 2. We made it, guys. We made it to the end of Season 2 and just 4 more seasons to go. Season 2 is a wrap and, well, I'm pleased to say that this is the best episode of Lost, both of them combined. This was an insane finale with so many big moments, so many great things happening, and I can't wait to break it all down. So let's jump into it. Now, this episode focuses on literally where we picked up on the penultimate episode. We get to see who arrived on the boat at the end of the penultimate, and of course it's no other than Desmond, drunk out of his mind, and now they have a boat and a drunk Desmond. So there you go. But I do find it actually kind of interesting because when they discover Desmond, he kind of looks at Jack and he's just kind of like, you know, which is a callback to the first episode of the season when Jack found him. So I thought that was kind of cool. But they bring him back to the island. Basically, you got him that's like drinking heavily and stuff like that. And during this episode, we get some flashbacks of Desmond on what his relationship was like with this woman named Penelope. Now, we can kind of tell that him and Penelope grew a very, very close attachment. He cares for her very, very much, and he's trying to get back to her, right? So you can kind of instantly feel for him when you see how much Penelope means to him. You see the first time that he met her in this episode, and he also runs into her father, Charles Whitmore, who is kind of standoffish and kind of a dick, in his own rights. And I've seen the actor many times before, this Charles Whitmore guy, but I've never, I can't really remember where I've seen him from, but I've seen the actor a good few times. He's really, really good. But during this episode, you get some of the sequences between him and Penelope as you've got him in the current day trying to figure out a way to kind of, just get out of this whole thing. And in this episode, we have a bit of a struggle for leadership of the hatch. We've got John that kind of decides that he's going to stop pressing the button and he's going to kind of let this whole thing happen, and he's going to let the timer run down, and he's going to let it all go down. And him and Desmond are sure of this because Desmond feels like this is the only way. Same with John Locke. But you have Echo, who is kind of against this idea, and Echo believes that something bad will happen if you don't press this button. So Echo kind of goes to Charlie for reinforcements and says, like, listen, you got to help me stop John and Desmond. They're going to kill everybody on this island in the matter of like 30 minutes, right? So it's a really, really intense scene as they're trying to get in there, and you got kind of a struggle between the two groups, Desmond and John, between Echo and, Charlie. So it was a pretty insane sequence, and I gotta say, it was really intense. Like, I've seen the show all the way through now, but I can still say, rewatching this, it was intense. Like, you straight up do not know what the hell is going to happen next. It's really, really crazy. And here's the thing, right, is that we don't know what happens, right? Like, this whole season, like, what happens when this timer runs out? What happens when that hits 0? We kind of semi-saw it in episode 17 in the lockdown episode, but we don't really know 100% what happens, so it is still kind of an up-in-the-air thing. Now, afterwards, in the flashbacks with Desmond, we have him getting on the island, getting stranded on the island, of course, and we kind of see how everything kind of works out. And he, of course, has been down in this hatch for 3 years, pressing this button every 108 minutes. And he's been absolutely going insane. And while we find out in this one that it seems like he had this kind of like this friend that kind of ran into him in this one, who was played by Clancy Brown, which I thought was pretty insane. And he comes in here in this big yellow suit, and they're kind of just down here together. Obviously, though, we have to wonder what happened to this guy. Like, what went on with this guy? We still kind of don't know 100% what went down, but the flashbacks continue into the second part. Now, we also have Jack's group, who, of course, are going to be, going to meet the others with Michael involved. Obviously, Michael is, leading them to a trap, and Jack kind of has that suspicion based off of what Saeed told them. So now you have Michael that's kind of leading them into this trap. Jack catches on pretty quickly, and they confront Michael about what he's doing. And it's pretty insane because you've got Jack that I've never seen him flip out this much in all my life. He loses it. And as soon as we have a sequence where Jack is kind of just laying down the law, they break down the fact that Michael killed Ana Lucia and Libby, and you have Hurley that's right there in the group. And Hurley, I got to admit, I thought Hurley was going to kill Michael in this scene. I really did. I thought Michael was dead, I have to admit. But Hurley said that, he doesn't kill people and stuff, but, he's really pissed off at Michael, rightfully so, of course, and we know why Michael is doing this based off what we saw last episode, so it's a really complicated thing, and Jack absolutely loses it in that scene. Now, we've also got Jin, Sun, and Saeed that are on this boat, and they take this boat and try to find the others' compound, and by the end of this, they do find, the camp, which I thought was a pretty insane cliffhanger, but they kind of leave it there for part 2. So, at least for part 1, at least for, where I stand with part 1, I would say that this is a phenomenal first part of a finale, and they really set the stage for Michael leading them into a trap, them finding the others' camp, but, the looks of it. We have, the hatch going down. We're finally going to see what happens. We have the flashbacks with Desmond, with Penelope, and getting to see, which, again, Clancy Brown in this show, which I never expected to have something checked off my bucket list, but that was really, really impressive to me. And it all continues into part 2. So join me for part 2. We'll be back with that right after this. And yeah, this is a great first part of the finale. So anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe button to miss any of the videos for Lost. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Views Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos very soon for Lost. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.